Hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again. This is Batok with Ola. My name is Mujola Lua and I'm so thrilled to be here once again. Today I want to talk about a topic that often comes up in criminal litigation and criminal law. We want to talk about agent provocateurs. Agent provocateurs. Now, agent provocateurs are inciting agents or incendiary elements, so to speak, that are employed by law enforcement mostly or by the government to incite other members of the society to commit crimes. So let me break it down. It comes from the French word provocateur, which is someone that provokes someone, that causes provocation. So agent, of course, you already know, is someone acting on behalf of another person. Now let's join it together. Someone acting on behalf of another person to cause provocation. Now provocation to do what? To commit a crime. So agent provocateurs are usually employed by state governments, federal governments in general, or by the law enforcement, by police, DSS in Nigeria, NDLEA, EFCC, and all other law enforcement agencies, to incite or to entice or to induce or to tempt or lure, members of the public, especially members that have been suspected and are under, the radar of such law enforcement for investigation purposes, to entice and lure them into committing a crime so that they can then be caught, tried, and convicted. That's the job of an agent provocateur. Now, you would find them in different places, online, offline, at the bar, at the club, in your society meetings, in your secret groups that you think are very secret, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even probably if they infiltrate your contacts, they might be on your WhatsApp. What is their mission? What is their job? They have been sent to create an avenue or a favorable platform for you to carry out, acts that are criminal in nature, so that their employers can then sweep in, arrest you, try you, and convict and punish you. That's the job of an agent provocateur. Now, don't aid the player, it's the game. That's the nature of their own jobs, and they are paid to do it. And when you're caught, they will not go down with you because they were employed for that very purpose. So if you're upright, if you're an upstanding member of the society, you have nothing to worry about, because these people will basically be luring you into doing something that you most likely have the propensity or the tendency or the intention of doing before. So you'd find that sometimes, for instance, on Twitter, someone is advertising, drugs that are illegal, telling you where you can get them, or that you should send them a direct message if you want to buy. So, for instance, if you fall for that trap and you go to purchase the drug, or maybe you're a seller now and they're offering to buy, and then you go meet them up so that you can sell to them and whatnot, then NDLEA, that's the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, can sweep in and then arrest you. Now, when they arrest you, you will not hear anything of these people again, because they will literally disappear, because they are not supposed to do time with you, because they were employed for the sole purpose of bringing you down. So you have nothing to fear if you're an upstanding member of society. But if you are already a criminal in the embryo, having the mens rea, that's the guilty mind, needing only the actus reus, that is, to carry out the intention, then you might fall for an agent provocateur, and they will not be blamed for whatever happens to you afterwards. So most times law enforcement will sweep in even before the act has been committed or the crime has been committed. So agent provocateurs usually are able to help them secure, a conviction for conspiracy. But it doesn't mean that sometimes when the crime is actually committed or carried out before law enforcement, catches up with the offender, it doesn't mean that they would not be tried for the crime. They would be tried for the crime. I'm just saying that, in the case where they sweep in or swoop in on you just before you commit the crime, then you will also be tried for conspiracy. You will not go scot-free, because that's an inchoate crime. An inchoate crime is a crime that has not been fully, carried out. I should talk about all these things: actus reus, mens rea, inchoate crimes, in separate videos. I will try to do that. So that's essentially the job of an agent provocateur. And don't forget that they are employed for this sole purpose, and they're employed by law enforcement or governments. For instance, government could employ an agent provocateur to join, potential coup plotters, or if government suspects that some people might be planning to commit treason, take over the government, they might plant an agent provocateur in their midst. So you think that all of you are planning the coup, not knowing that someone is an agent within you sent to infiltrate your ranks so that they can out you. And once you're outed, they will be let go of and you will be punished as the offender or intending offender. It could be someone offering to sell something illegal on Facebook or Instagram. It could also be people you hang out with at football houses, club houses, who are offering to you or encouraging you to do things, and then offering you facilities, facilitating the commission of the crime for you, just so that law enforcement can swoop in on you. In most cases, agent provocateurs are used targeted at a certain demographic, people that are already under investigation or suspicion of commission of crime. So they just employ government just employs agent provocateurs to, bring them out faster. And sometimes it could be that some suspects have been arrested, and the course of investigation, the police are finding it difficult to extract confessional statements or confessions from them. They might plant an agent provocateur in their cell, in their holding cell, who will now probably promise them something good, or try to look like a co-offender or a suspect himself or herself, and then maybe tell some cock and bull stories about more terrible things he or she has done, and then the cellmates are tricked into confessing to such person. So such confessions, the person might be wearing a wire, or might be under or the cell might be under surveillance. In that case, the police can get their confession, and the agent provocateur is then let off the hook. Sometimes it might even be another suspect that is employed for this basis, with the promise, of probably a lesser punishment or some reward from the police or the law enforcement. But essentially, the agent provocateur's job is to create the opportunity for people who have the propensity for committing a crime, or people who have already committed a crime, to extract the confession out of them. And they are working for the government. You might not know them. These are people that you engage with on social media every other day. They are people you chat with, in the club, like I've said, in places where people gather. In some jurisdiction, the work or the functions of an agent provocateur tends towards entrapment, which can be punishable and can be unlawful, on its own. But mostly when they are used by government, when they are used by police, they often get away with it. And they are not punished as the offender, because the punisher is their employer. So that's all I want to talk about today on the subject matter of agent provocateurs. So be careful if you're upright. I know you don't need that warning, but even if you have some mens rea, please desist from carrying out the actus reus and be wary. All of us, let's be wary of agent provocateurs, because sometimes, even if you do not intend to carry out the crime, these people will interact with you in a way that incites you to actually want to do the act or commit the crime, and they may get you to say things against yourself or reveal things that might stand against you. So let's just be wary. I'm just those are just the peripherals, but I've already gone into the details of what their modus operandi is, and what their goal is. So that's it on agent provocateurs. I will see you in my very next video. To those.